Hello and welcome to NBA 365. I'm your host, Jack Esco, and today on the show we are going to be talking about the huge injury in Oklahoma City with Kevin Durant. I'm told that he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. I'm going to tell you the ramifications that will happen, that will bring to the NBA, the head coach, his replacement, all the ramifications coming up in this show. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. So I think it was a week ago. It was a back headline story because I think it was Monday or Sunday this had happened. So it wasn't like, breaking news or anything like that. So nobody was like, nobody really knew until like Monday or Tuesday, like, holy crap, he's really, he's done. Not done, but 6 to 8 weeks. So, yeah, that was like put on the back burner. And then it was just a very surprising story that it came out, on that day. Man, what this means for the Thunder is just, it's not good. It's not good. You don't have a leader. You don't have that guy who can say, I got this. You don't have the alpha dog. Now, I know what people are saying, but aren't all those qualities Russell Westbrook? No. He's not an alpha dog. He's not a leader. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's great. But the alpha dog on the Thunder is Durant. The leader is Durant. They lose that for 6 to 8 weeks, which is huge. I don't know how huge. I mean, it's so important to have leadership in the NBA because you have guys who are young, who kind of stray away during the season. You need to kind of wrangle them back in. And Westbrook is kind of like those guys you need to wrangle back in every now and then. So I can't put him as a leader. Maybe I'll put Ibaka or Perkins like a veteran, but no, I'm not putting Westbrook as a leader. I'll have to see what he does on the court, on and off the court, for me to put him as a leader. And, this is not only huge for the Thunder having a huge loss, this is a big moment for Perry Jones to see how he's going to step up and see what we see in him. From the time whenever I see him play, when Durant is on the bench, it's not good. I never go, holy cow, who is that guy? Nothing really amazes me with him. But then again, he might do well. But it's gonna be something good to see. Something good to see here. You don't know what we're gonna see out of that stretch 3-4. Yeah, we're gonna know what we're gonna see out of that three. Durant's a small forward, so they might be filling spots in there. Now this all comes back to the Thunder. If they would have drafted better in the draft, in the very deep draft, I might add, we probably wouldn't be worrying about. I'm not saying that that they were going to know this would happen, so you have to draft a competent small forward. I'm not saying that. But the reason why the Spurs are good and the reason why the Celtics are good is because they seem to always prepare for the unexpected. And I'm not going to knock the Thunder for not doing that, but it's something they should have done. Because when you're an NBA organization, like I said, the Spurs do it, a lot of smart organizations do it. You prepare for what you don't expect. And for the Thunder case, they should have prepared for Durant being injured. I don't know what, people are, he's not going to be injured. Well, yeah, that's why you prepare for the unprepared or prepare for the unexpected, You get him and Now you're not all right, but you're a little bit better than what you are right now. So let's move on to who this affects next. Let's go to Scott Brooks. This saves his job. I'm one of the I wouldn't say very, but I'm one of those people who really dislike Scott Brooks, and I have no dog in this fight. I'm a Lakers fan, but just as an NBA fan, I can't stand him. I just can't stand him. How he screws up the Thunder in the playoffs. I swear, every time he's in the playoffs, he gets undressed by another coach. Just undressed on how he coaches. I mean, Popovich absolutely just took him to school in the last playoff. Just took him to the dry cleaners and just, like, it was just not even a contest with the coaching matchup. Just a knockout punch. You know, he was just running laps around him, Popovich was. You know, and I think, you know, it's just not good when you struggle, when you're really good in the regular season and struggle in the postseason. I really think if they didn't if they didn't win the championship this year, he should have been fired. Now, but if they make the finals, what? If they make the finals, what? They should win the championship. They have pieces. Now they don't have a bench, but they have pieces. And you know what? Don't give me this. Oh, they don't have, a bench, and they don't have that. You know what Popovich is working with? He's working with an old Duncan, an old Ginobili, an old Parker, and he's still winning titles. So you can't tell me that Brooks can't win a championship. Oh, I know why. Because he's a bad coach. If you give Popovich Scott Brooks' players, he's owning this league. Like, it might as well be called the National Spurs Association if you gave him Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka. Like, it's a wrap. But he's making ramen noodles. He's turning ramen noodles into a 5-star dish. And on the other side, you have Scott Brooks that has a beautiful, succulent lobster. And he's turning it, and he's like overcooking it. And he doesn't have, good, appetizers around it. And, good sides around it. They're all stale. You have a nice little lobster and you're just ruining it. But on the other hand, you have Popovich and he's doing good with very little. So, like I have said, this saves Scott Brooks' job because now, at the end of the season, when they probably won't make the playoffs, or when they do because of a huge heroic Durant, crazy, spam when he comes back, Brooks is gonna say, "Hey," he's not gonna say this, but he's gonna imply, "Well, I didn't have Durant, so you can't fire me." See you later. See you next week. See you next year. Sorry, something like that. See you next year. Thunder fans won't say it. He's a good coach. I'm have no dog in, like I have said. I see how he just gets undressed year after year after year against coaches, and he just, eventually you're gonna have to say, all right, see you later. But you can't this year because, you're going to pull the old Durant was gone 6 to 8 weeks, so see you next year sort of thing. And you know what? That kind of upsets me that he's just staying alive because he really shouldn't be. He's a D-League coach who's actually an NBA coach. Oh, man, that just felt good. I just had to get that off my chest because, man, he's a terrible coach. a horrendous coach. And I'm sorry if I got some... you know what? I'm not sorry if I got Thunder fans upset, because it's the truth. You're going to write in your message boards and you're going to say, oh, you know, I really don't care. I really don't. You know, to be honest with you, P.J. Carlissimo, when he was coaching Durant in Supersonics, was a better coach than Brooks is right now. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. So that's how it affects Brooks. He gets to stay one more year. Jeez, what a joke that is. You know, I bet you very quietly, Brooks was very excited that he broke his foot, because now he knows that he has a get out of jail free card. And it's a shame, really, that a bad coach gets to stay on a good roster. You are wasting Durant's years as a basketball player. You are wasting Westbrook's years as a basketball player when you are keeping a guy like Brooks. You know what? I'd still fire him, even though he's out 6 to 8 weeks. You know that he's out. You were told about this during preseason, so you should play without him and do your game planning without him. Okay? And I would still fire him if he doesn't make the playoffs or doesn't do that. Because you gotta look on not what he's done just this year, but the rest of the years. And it's not been good. Just one final appearance, and you got steamrolled by the Heat. Alright, now I think that's enough about, the rail on Scott Brooks parade. Alright. I'm done. I think. Who else this affects next? This affects Russell Westbrook, and there's no doubt about it. He is now going to be the scorer for this team. And that is going to be bad for the Thunder if you are a Thunder fan, because he tends to take away a lot of shots for when Durant is on the court. So now when Durant's on the court, he's going to be taking a lot more shots now. So if you thought he was taking away shots with Durant, he's going to take away Ibaka's shots, and he's going to take away Jones' shots, and Perkins, and all those guys, all those shots. Because he sees Durant, he's like, oh, wow. His eyes are like huge saucers when he heard that he was out, because he knows this is his team now for 6 to 8 weeks. And that's not going to be good. You need a leader to rein him in, and Brooks doesn't care. He doesn't care. One more time about this, Brooks. Brooks doesn't care. You would think he would go over to Westbrook and say, hey, quit, jacking up shots with, 23 seconds left in the shot clock, or 20 seconds left in the shot clock. We got to run our offense here. Nope. He doesn't even look upset when I see him on the sidelines. He has that little, frown or something, like he wants to look upset, but do you really think he's upset? Or do you think he's just, wondering about his dinner reservations for next week? Well, I'm going to, He looks like he's clueless out there. Especially when he's coaching against, highly caliber coaches. Spoelstra undressed him in that finals. Popovich undresses him every time they play. And the only chance the Thunder, when they do win, is not because of that was a great coaching call. It's because Durant pulls a game-winning shot out of his butt and saves Brooks. That's the only reason they get a win from the Spurs, or they beat the Heat. It's because Westbrook or Durant pull a game winner out of their butt. They get like triple teamed, and Brooks is safe again. Brooks has been hiding too long under this talent. I've been doing so good and not even worrying about the coach. Now it's like year 4 or 5. Now it's like, I need to see rings. Quit hiding behind the talent. I need to see what you're doing. And he's not doing that much. Man, this NBA 365 turned into grinding my gears. But yeah, this is NBA 365. got that off my chest, and hope Scott Brooks was actually watching this so he can resign because he is a terrible coach. Um, so that was NBA 365. I know it sounded like grinding my gears, but that was NBA 365. This is Jack Esco, and as always, it has been real.